Sports fans, and welcome to the Weekend Eve. This is Any Given Sunday on KUAW. My brother with another mother, Coach 24, Darwin Penny, is back out of town again, doing his best to bring in more great players to help the Kansas City Royals, who are doing very well right now. Right now, we are we are 5 games over 500. We are 7 games over 500. If we would have had beaten Seattle yesterday, we would have been 9 games over 500 for the first time since the end of 2015, the year that we did win the World Series, which was 9 years ago. Behind the scenes, running the show, Mr. George Walker, DJ Scatter. Mr. Walker, how are you doing this evening?
Hey, I'm liking it, and I'm doing just fine.
Oh, that's awesome. And I'm Brian Kress, the awesome voice. And so we are going to get into it. We're going to do some baseball. The Royals are off tonight. So my best friend calls me just before the start of the show and tells me that he guarantees the Royals will not lose tonight. So if anybody wants to make that bet, just go see him. He lives in Lee Summit. You can go bet him. And if you think that the Royals will lose, then you can bet with him, because he says absolutely not. The Royals will not lose tonight. But starting tomorrow, they will be at home, and they will be playing the Oakland Athletics, ironically the team that was here in Kansas City before they darted off to Oakland and allowed Huey Kaufman to purchase the Royals in 1967. And actually, at the time when they had purchased the team, they were going to have them come and play in 1971. And the mayor at the time was doing everything possible to expedite the expedite them to be in the league a lot sooner, and they ended up going in 1969. So just a little bit of trivia and a little bit of knowledge, something that you guys can learn. That's the one thing I can definitely do. I can give you a lot of stats and numbers and stuff.
Now, was that when they were the Omaha, Kansas City Royals?
No, that was the NBA. That they were the Kansas City Omaha Kings. And do you know who they were before the Kansas City Kings? The Cincinnati Royals with Oscar Robinson. So, see, yeah, the Big O. So, see, we've got more stuff, and you just sit there and go, you know what? I did not know that. Now you do know that. So anyway, tomorrow night and this weekend, they are going to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of the Royals winning or making it to the playoffs for the first time in 29 years, because the last time before that was in the 1985 season, and I was 19 years old, and George was like a couple of days older than that, and that year we finally pushed through after many years of making the playoffs, just never, and even one time in the World Series, just never got to the World, or never won the World Series. Well, they pushed through, and they did win it in 1985. So in 2014, it was 29 years later that they finally made the playoffs. And they were actually under 500 during the I believe at the All-Star break. So even though they had a good start, they did not play very well, were under 500, so you were thinking, okay, another non-playoff year. Well, they ended up winning, and then they ended up playing the Oakland Athletics in the one-game playoff, and which was a classic in itself. and I still remember Salvador Perez hitting the ball down the left field line, and Ryan Lefevre making the call and telling how we ended up winning it and went through the playoffs. We swept the Angels, we swept the Orioles, and then we ended up playing San Francisco to 7 games where, a lot of people said you should have sent Alex Gordon. You shouldn't have sent Alex Gordon, but we were 90 feet away from tying the World Series and possibly winning it. So, but this weekend they're going to celebrate that 2014 team. And with that, Mr. Walker established some tickets for that game tomorrow night. Would you like to talk about it, sir?
Well, I just want to say that we want to thank the Kansas City Royals and the Kauffman Foundation for making it available for our nonprofit, which this is a nonprofit radio station, and we work with youth and adults to close the digital divide. So they awarded us the tickets that we have given to the people that volunteer with KUAW and the Black Family Technology Awareness Association and the youth and their parents. So we're all going to go out there and get a chance to work to, kind of network together and do some team building. So we want to thank the Royals and we want to thank the Ewing Kauffman Foundation.
Absolutely. So I got 4 tickets, and I am taking my daughter, her husband, and my little booklet, which is their daughter. Her name is Paige, but I call her Booklet. So we are definitely looking forward to it. I am hoping that they will get off work in time, because I am doing everything possible to get off as early as possible so I can get over to their house so I can pick them up and take them to the game, because you can get a T-shirt, you can get a bobblehead, and I think you have to pay for it, and I hope not, but I think you have to pay for it, a theme ticket to get ball caps for the they're having ball cap. I think there are 6 different ball caps of the military. So the military will also be honored. And if you can get there by, I believe, 5:45, because I'm thinking the game is at what time is the game? The game is at 6:40. The game's at 6:40, so they always open up the gates 90 minutes before, so roughly 5:10, a little bit after 5 o'clock, they will open the gates up. But at 5:45, that they will do the ceremonies for the players. That it'll be a very nice ceremony, and the players will be introduced. And tonight, I am wearing my Lorenzo Cain World Series from 2014 jersey, his number 6, and I will wear another jersey, but that's okay. I've got my Bobby Witt jersey that I can put on, but I also have my Ventura jersey, which I think I'm going to end up wearing, and I'll try to see what my daughter and her husband will be wearing, and and Miss Little Booklet, she will probably enjoy all the festivities of the food, and maybe even go to the backside and play over there, and maybe even see Slugger. So I'm definitely looking forward to it, and I appreciate Mr. Walker and, like we said, the Kauffman Foundation and the Kansas City Royals for doing this. This was very nice. And yes, this is a nonprofit organization, even though I make about $350,000 a year for showing up one time a week and doing 1 hour of a show. And if anybody believes that, then they need to go see my friend and still bet that the Royals will lose tonight. So anyway, so it's all good. So the Royals, they ended up losing the series to Seattle. Now, one of the things that they have been playing very, very well this year. They are 7 games over 500. They have 26 wins. There are only a handful of teams that have won more than 26 games as the Royals, and I believe there's like 3, 4, 5. There are 5 teams that I see right now that have won more than 26 games than the Royals, because they have 26 wins. Saying that, the one thing that I wish that they could do better is to win the rubber match. Now, the rubber match is when you have a 3-game series and both teams have won 1 game, and the third game will decide who wins the 3-game series. That is called the rubber match. And they have only won 1 of those. They have won some series, but usually they have won 2 games already. So the third game, if they lose, it doesn't matter. It's not a rubber match. But when you're 1-1 and you're playing to win that series, then it is the rubber match. The Royals need to do a better job. Not saying it's a bad, not saying that they're bad, that they're horrible, because when the Royals lose, people are going, well, here they go again. Look, I've always thought that every team is going to win 50 games. Every team is going to lose 50 games. It's those other 62 games that you're going to have to play that will decide your fate in your season, whether you're going to have a winning season or a losing season. So, look, they have less losses. They don't even have 20 losses. And right now, they are 2 wins away for being halfway to where they were at last year at 56 wins. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they won 26 games last year, roughly near the All-Star break, which is in the first week or second week in July. It just depends on when they have it. So they have been playing very well. I'm proud of them. I'm glad of it. And if Coach 24 was here, he would tell you all the great things that they do and how they're doing it. Salvador Perez is still leading the league in several offensive categories, and Bobby Witt is still one of the best players in Major League Baseball. And yes, if Bobby Witt was playing for the Yankees or for the Mets or Dodgers or whoever, or even Texas, he would probably get more fanfare around the country. Not in Kansas City. We love Bobby Witt, and we love the fact that he's going to be here for many, many years. But saying that, a lot of people don't realize how great of a player he is, defensive and offensively. I believe we have the first or second top-ranked defense in baseball. Our run differential is 4th in baseball. It was plus 52 going into the Seattle series. They are also 4th in ERA, total team ERA. Now, the batting it can still get improved, but usually teams or a lot of players usually start warming up after June when it turns into summer, and they get it going then. But the Royals are playing great. I am proud of them. And, you've got the Angels who buy their teams, and they are 13 games under 500. You've got the Houston Astros, who 2 years ago with Dusty Baker won the World Series. They have one of the worst records in baseball outside of Chicago and the Angels and Colorado and Miami and St. Louis. So, yes, St. Louis, we are better than St. Louis. Ha! Yes, I love it. I love it. So, anyway, but we have a good a good series with the A's. And a story about the A's was in the 2015 season. This was during the beginning of that year, and a lot of teams were trying to bully the Royals, thinking, "Oh yeah, we'll just push you guys around and everything." Well, Oakland comes in, and Laurie goes in at uh, oh my God, Escobar. Uh, I can't think of his name off. I can't think of his first name offhand. Uh, 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 Al. It's not Alfredo. Anyway. It's Escobar, and so he goes into him hard, almost like an Hal McRae type thing, and injured his knee on Friday night. Well, I took my daughter uh, to the Royals game on Sunday. Sadie's Escobar. Thank you, Mr. Walker. So we go to the game on Sunday, and Yordano Ventura is pitching. And so my daughter, she always just wanted to go to the Royals game, just me and her, and that was her birthday gift. So that's what I did. So we got tickets down the first base line, and we were watching the game, and Ventura is pitching, and he's pitching really well. And this is about the fifth or sixth inning, and Brett Laurie comes up, and Ventura drills Laurie, and I'm telling you what, that place erupted big time. Ah man, I was cheering, and they ended up kicking Ventura out of the game. Oh, I'm telling you what, and from then on, people stopped jacking with us right after that, and saying that I still miss Ventura, and I know a lot of people do. And Coach 24, his first day coming into Kansas City, because he is from Texas, his first day in Kansas City was the day that Yordano Ventura passed away from the car accident in Venezuela. So, but he just had a fire behind him, and the Royals this year are slowly starting to become that team. Now, it's kind of hard to have that type of team now compared to 10 years ago, because the fact of the rules are different and everything else. But still, we have, we are having a better team. But yeah, Yordano Ventura, he was not the best pitcher on the team, but he was the unspoken leader of that team in that aspect. So it's going to be awesome. So everybody, please go out to the games. Now we're going tomorrow night. You guys go out Saturday and Sunday. Tomorrow night is Herrera bobblehead. Saturday night is Wade Davis, and Sunday is Greg Holland. So either 3 days. Now I think they're only going to have 15,000, so you got to get there early. So I'm going to press my daughter to get it going and just get everything done so she can get off work in time so we can do this. So so that will work. Now, let's change to the top event right now, which is the PGA Open, which is in Louisville, Kentucky. And I want to say it's Valhalla. That is the golf course that they're playing at. And right now, Xander Schauffele is leading by shooting a 62 today, and he is 9 under. And Finna, and I've never seen his name. Finna is 6 under, and Thigala is 6 under. Roy McIlroy is -5. Brooks Koepka is -4. He's in 10th place, and Tiger Woods is +1. And actually, he had played very well, and then in the last two, he ended up bogeying 17 and 18 to put him over par instead of under par, and Phil Mickelson is at 126th with +3. And just looking at this, it just showed that Tiger Woods is now +1, or no, 90th place. He's in 90th place. So that means he's going to have to improve his status in order to continue on playing for the rest of the weekend. So I'm looking at, I'm trying to find it. I'm finding it. No. Oh, there we go. We got women's softball. And the reason why I'm doing women's softball is because Missouri is in the tournament. I definitely know that. Missouri is the 7th seed, and they have a regional, a Columbia regional, which is, and they're playing Omaha, and they'll play that tomorrow night. So I am pretty stoked about that. So, Lady Tigers, let's kick some butt. And also in the Columbia Regional is the University of Indiana and University of Washington. So definitely. But the number 1 seed is the Texas Longhorns, and I believe they took that over the Oklahoma Sooners. They are the 2nd seed. That's right. So, yeah. So definitely do that. Definitely check that out. There we go. Oh, there we go. So now, tonight, we have the Denver Nuggets and the Minnesota Timberwolves. And last week, we came in here, and the Timberwolves were just beating up on the Nuggets. They had their number. They had them down for the count, and it looked like that they were going to probably keep them from defending their title, and they got up 2-0. Well, since then, the Nuggets have gone 3 games in a row, and they have a 3-2 series, and Jokic is just totally taken over and showing why he is the MVP for the 3rd time in 4 years. So we've got and the other one, we have the Mavericks ended up beating the Thunder last night, and they took a 3-2 lead over the Thunder. And a lot of people thought that the Thunder could beat the Nuggets. Well, right now they're going to have to beat the Mavericks in order to advance to the Western Conference Finals. And so the Celtics last night finished off the Cavaliers in 5 games. So they will be sitting and waiting for the winner of the New York Knicks Indiana Pacers game. And I believe it was Sunday, I was watching the Pacers and the Knicks from the 80s and 90s, and the Pacers just were always snake bitten by the Knicks. And right now, the Knicks lead the Pacers 3-2, and Knicks are literally limping in these games. They barely have 5, 6, maybe even 7 players that can play. And yet the Pacers, who seem to be playing better, in fact, in one game they ended up beating the Knicks. I want to say it was by about 20. It was by 20. It was by 32 points on Sunday to tie the series. And then they turned around and they ended up losing to the Knicks. But they ended up losing to the Knicks by 30 points. This was on Tuesday, so they are playing Friday. And so the winner, if the Knicks win, then they will end up playing the Celtics. If the Pacers win, it will be on Sunday night, or it'll be Sunday. And I want to say and if the somehow the Timberwolves can beat the Nuggets tonight, then they will play on Sunday also. So we've got that going there too. And last night we had the we did have the NFL scheduling, so which is I was excited. I watched it all last night, big time. So, but before that, and this will take us into halftime on any given Sunday on KUAW. 816-599-6893 is the phone number. If you want to give a call and speak your piece, or if you have a question, definitely call in and bring it, as you would say. So now we've got the Hurricanes and the Rangers. They are playing tonight. In fact, they are playing right now. 10 minutes, 13 seconds left in the first quarter, or first period. It's 0-0. The Rangers lead 3-2. With a win tonight, they will move to the Eastern Conference Finals against either the Bruins or the Panthers, which the Bruins which will play Friday night. Florida leads 3-2. So Bruins need to win Friday night to have a game for Sunday. And so the Oilers right now, they are tied with the Canucks, Vancouver Canucks, 2-2. And so with that, they will play the winner of the Colorado Avalanche versus the Dallas Stars, who I am still not a big fan of. So I'm hoping Colorado ends up beating the Dallas Stars. And they play tomorrow night with the Bruins and the Panthers. So, and hopefully the Avalanche could take care of that. And with that, we are definitely at halftime on any given Sunday on KUAW. We're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we are going to talk Central Midwest Football League. I announced the game Saturday against two teams that were in first place in both divisions, and it was a great game, and I will tell you about it. But with that, we're going to take a quick break, and you are listening to Any Given Sunday on KUAW.
And now we're going back to the show, Any Given Sunday, with Brian, the awesome voice, Chris.
All right, we are back for for the second half of Any Given Sunday on KUAW, and it is weird because and I have another story that I want to bring up too. So we're talking about the Central Midwest Football League, and so they have all the playoffs set up. And the championship game is August 3rd, and it will be at St. Pius High School. So, people, it will be here in Kansas City. Definitely come out and see that and see some great football. They will take the top 6 teams in each conference, which is the Great Plains Conference and the Gateway Conference. And so the rankings this week is number 1, the Oklahoma Bears. Number 2, the Missouri Cyclones, who beat the Kansas City Panthers 50-0. Yes, I know. I saw that. Number 3 is the Joplin Crusaders. Number 4 is the Midwest Titans, who edged the Central Illinois Cougars Saturday night at Winnetonka High School 12-8, and I will talk a little more about that. And this week, this Saturday at Winnetonka, so definitely come out and watch. At 6:30 is the game time. They will be playing the 5th seed, which is the Tulsa Gators, and they are a very good team. And 6 is the Wichita Skyhawks. 7 is the Eastern Central Missouri Eagles. 8 is the Columbia Vipers, who edged out the Panthers 2 weeks ago, 16-0. Number 9 is the Central Illinois Cougars, and 10 is the Arkansas Warcats. So we've got that going, and so the Titans played the Cougars, and both of them were in first place. They were both tied for first. The Cougars in the Gateway Conference, and the Titans in the Great Plains Conference. And it was a great game. The Cougars had started off pretty strong, where they would move the ball very well, did a lot of sweeps left and right, and I believe on the second series they ended up scoring their only touchdown, and then they got the 2-point conversion. The Titans were struggling on offense, but they were playing great defense. It was a great defensive battle, and it was just it was an awesome game. There was hard hitting, but there was it was cleanly played. It was well officiated, with the exception of one play. So the Titans had, right after the second half kickoff, they took the kickoff and they marched it down the field, scored a touchdown, and so it turned into 8-6. Their 2-point conversion failed, so they were down 2 points. Well, on fourth down, the Cougars were moving into Titan territory. Threw a pass, it got picked off. Well, the guy fell down, but he could get up. In semi-pro football, it is like the NFL. It's not like college where you're down, you're automatically down. If you're down and nobody has touched you, you can get back up. Well, he got back up, and they wasn't sure what was going on, so they kept on going. Ended up scoring, I believe it was a 68-yard pick six. And so the referees were discussing it for like it had to be at least 10 minutes. I wish I had the Jeopardy signal, the music for it, because I would have played it. It was that long. But then they ended up calling the touchdown, and with that made the difference of 12-8. So now the Titans are in first place in the Great Plains Conference. They are 3-0. They have scored 68 points, given up 16 points, and their differential is plus 30. And then the Oklahoma Bears are in second place, or tied for first, but they're in second. They're also 3-0. They have scored 54 points and given up only 35 with a plus 19. And then you have the Tulsa Gators, who the Titans are going to play this week, and that is going to that will decide if the Titans will stay undefeated or not. And the Gators are 2-1. They have scored 53 points and only given up 16. So I can see this as a defensive battle, and their difference is plus 5. And then you have the Joplin Crusaders, who are 1-1, and they have scored 62 points and given up 50 points, and they have a plus 9 differential. Next is the Wichita Skyhawks, who are also 1-1, and they have scored 37 points and only given up 10 points and have a differential of plus 6. And then you have the Kansas Diamondbacks, 0-2, with scoring 16 points, giving up 54 points for minus 17. And then you have the St. Joseph Swarm, who are 0-3. They have scored 26 points, given up 99 points for a minus 28 difference. So now we go to the Gateway Conference. There. And so in first place there is the Missouri Cyclones. They are 3-0. They have scored 82 points and only given up 14 points for a differential of 31, plus 31. And then you have the Eastern Central Missouri Eagles. They are 2-0. They have scored 52 points, given up only 14 points, and have a differential of plus 23. Then you have the Columbia Vipers, who are 2-1. They have scored 58 points, given up 14 points, and with a differential of plus 18. Then you have in fourth, you have the Arkansas Warcats. They are also 2-1, scored 56 points, given up 36 points for a differential of plus 16. Again, I don't exactly know what the differential is, but I believe I am going to ask the coach, Coach Jimmy Ross, who's also the commissioner and owner of the league, that question when I see him. And then fifth place is Central Illinois Cougars, who dropped from tie for first place to fifth place with a 2-1 record. They have scored 67 points, given up 38 points for a differential of plus 11. Then you have the St. Louis Falcons. They are 1-2, scored 43 points, given up 56 points, minus 10 differential. Seventh, you've got the Kansas City Panthers. They are also 1-2, scored 20 points, given up 84 points, and a differential of minus 11. Then you have the Springfield Punishers, 0-2, and they have scored 16 points, given up 75 points for the differential of 37 points. And ninth, and in last place, you've got the Northwest Arkansas Generals. They're 0-3. They have only scored 6 points, given up 66 points for a differential of 36 points. So we've got that going. So anyway, now we go to the Kansas City Chiefs and the NFL schedule. And I have got the schedule for you. Last night, again, 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock? No, it was 7 o'clock that they had the schedule. And so I'll tell you what, the NFL has done everything they could do possible with this schedule to make sure that the Chiefs do not win the third Super Bowl, because it is pretty brutal. They start the first week. Obviously, they will play the first game, which is on a Thursday night, and it will be on NBC. And they will be playing the Baltimore Ravens. As they say, it's the kickoff. And then the second week, and of course they're at home. second week, they will also be at home. They will play the Cincinnati Bengals. So, those first 2 weeks, either the Chiefs will have a big advantage or a big disadvantage. It depends on if they can win both of their games or if they end up losing one or both of them. But the third week, they will play on Sunday night. They will play the Atlanta Falcons in Atlanta in the ATL, and it will be at 7:20. And so that will be good for the Falcons because a lot of teams are thinking that the Falcons will win the NFC South division. Then the next week they will go to Los Angeles and they will play Jim Harbaugh and the Los Angeles Chargers, and that will be a 3:25 game. The fifth week they will play on Monday Night Football. They will play the New Orleans Saints, and the Saints, I just don't see them being very good this year, so I can see the Chiefs totally taking care of business. The sixth week is a bye week. Now, I'm going to say for like the last 4-5 years, they have had the bye week after the halfway mark of the season. And this will be the first time in a while that they will have a bye week before the 8th or ninth game of the season. So this is going to really dictate on how their season will go. So then they will turn around after the bye, the week 7, they will play the San Francisco 49ers. And that will be on Fox. Now, most of these are going to be on CBS. Now, actually, there's only going to be 2 games on CBS, which is week 2 and week 4. Week 1 will be on NBC. Week 3 will be on NBC. Week 5 will be on ESPN ABC. So week 7 will be on Fox. Week 8, it will be in West Arrowhead. And you know where West Arrowhead is, right, Mr. Walker? Yes, that would be Las Vegas.
Oh.
Yes, because they own that place too. They've never lost there. So, excuse me. So week 8 they will be in Las Vegas, and then week 9 they will play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home on Monday Night Football. Then week 10 we will play the Denver Broncos, which I know I've got a lot of friends who are Bronco fans who are going to think that Denver is going to beat Kansas City and knock them off and take over the division and everything else. So good luck with that. This will also be the first game for the Chiefs that will be played at noon. So every game that they have played, it will either be 3:25 or 7:20, but not at noon until week 10. Then the next week they go to Buffalo, and they will play the Buffalo Bills at 3:25, and then they will go to Carolina, which I would say is kind of a break. That is probably their break that they need. Go to Carolina, and they will play also a noon game. So we've got that one. And then we have week 13, November 29th. And I believe week 29 or week 13, November 29th, we will play the Raiders, and that will be on Black Friday. And so I'm saying all this for a purpose in a little bit, which we will go on. So we will play the Raiders on Black Friday. It will be at 2 o'clock. And then the next week on Sunday Night Football, we will play the Los Angeles Chargers at home. And then the next week, we will go to Cleveland and play Week 15 against the Cleveland Browns, and that will be our third and final Sunday at noon game. And then the next Saturday, which is roughly 4 days before Christmas, they will play the Houston Texans. And that will be on a Saturday because on Christmas, which is on a Wednesday, they will play the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh. Now, saying this, they will play, and it's really weird. Well, let me back up real quick. So they're on Christmas Day, they're playing the Pittsburgh Steelers, and then on week 18, either January 4th or 5th, it'll be to be determined. They will play the Denver Broncos in Denver. So, saying this, the Chiefs are going to play in their last, well, actually, in the last last 12 games. So starting from week 7, they will play 2 road games. And then the next 2 weeks, 9 and 10, they will play 2 home games. Week 11 and 12, they will play 2 road games. And then 13 and 14, they will play 2 home games. And then 15 and 16, they will play a road game, home game. And then the last 2, they will play 2 road games. So this is not going to be an easy schedule for the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, saying this, it will their percentage strength of schedule is, I believe, something like 20th, and they have a 502 winning percentage. Their team, their opponents' win percentage is 502. Saying that the toughest schedule in the NFL is the Cleveland Browns with a 547 win schedule, the Baltimore Ravens with a 536 schedule, the Pittsburgh Steelers with a 533 schedule, the Houston Texans a 526 schedule, and the Green Bay Packers with a 526 schedule. So the 75% of the AFC North have the top 3 toughest schedules. Now, that can all change because you never know how the teams are going to play. But based on last year, they have the 3 toughest schedules. The 3 weakest schedules is from the NFC South. You've got the Atlanta Falcons, who have the worst schedule, tied with the New Orleans Saints. So technically, they're tied for 31st. Both of them with a 453 winning percentage. Then you have the Chicago Bears, which is 467, and the Carolina Panthers, NFC South, that is also 467. And then the 5th is the Los Angeles Chargers with a 478, tied with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 478. So saying this, the Chargers are saying that they're going to win because they got an easier schedule and they will be able to take care of it. Now, for me, this is going to be really, really tough for the Chiefs. But they always seem to play their best games against winning teams. So, like, they lost a couple of years ago to the Indianapolis Colts when they should have never have even thought of losing to them. They have that habit of losing a game like that. But that's okay, because when it really comes to crunch time, that they will produce. And I'm still going to say right now on May 16th, 2024, that the Chiefs will go back to back to back. Do you agree with me, Mr. Walker?
Well, I'm not a I don't make those future guesses.
Oh, you're not a predictor.
There you go.
You were trying to say procrastinator.
That's easy for you to say.
Procrastinator is somebody who is supposed to do something and they don't do it.
No,
The kind of like the Dallas
prognosticator was the word I was looking for.
Prognosticate.
But anyway,
Mhm.
you know, I don't want to jinx it in any way. I want to watch. I want them to do a good year again. Like it should be hard. I mean, for 3, we didn't want an easy schedule. I think that if you're going to be the best, you've got to play the best. You've got to beat the best.
Right.
So if they get through this and they end up in the Super Bowl again, then it won't be anybody can say anything about it. So I want them to go and have 100%. Hey, we did this.
Oh, absolutely.
And everybody's going to be gunning for them. I mean, if you just win the Super Bowl, teams come out and want to beat the Super Bowl person.
Right.
You've won it twice in a row. They don't have an easy game. I mean, everybody's going to play their up game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that would give them bragging rights.
Yeah.
I mean, regardless of how you could be 1-15 or 16, but you say we beat the Chiefs.
Right.
That'll be, that'll be a highlight of a team's year. So it's going to be tough, and it should be.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. So with that, we are nearing the end of any given Sunday, and usually this is their time for the best segment of the show, which is Penny for Your Thoughts. Since Coach 24 Darwin Penny is not here, I am going to do this one because I saw this and I thought, awesome. It was bad that it happened, but the results are going to be good. Kansas man pleads guilty to stealing Jackie Robinson statue, faces more than 19 years in jail. So, the man who was charged in the theft of a Jackie Robinson statue from a youth baseball field in Wichita, Kansas in February pleaded guilty on Thursday. Now, Rick Alaret, who is 45 years old. 45 years old. Are you freaking kidding me? 45 years old? I don't understand if it's a 20-year-old, but you can understand it a little bit. 45 years old was charged with aggravated criminal damage to property, theft of property, or services valued at $25,000 to $100,000, making false information and identity theft, according to the Wichita Eagle. He will be sentenced on July 1st. Alaret is looking at more than 19 years in jail. He will also be forced to pay $41,500 to the League 42, the youth baseball program founded by the executive director. And before I continue on reading, I don't know if he will ever, or if the league, unfortunately, will ever get that. So I hope they do. I hope they will get that $41,500, but I'm not sure if they will. But it was the baseball program founded by executive director Bob Lutz in 2013. The reason for the theft, police determined, was financial and not motivated by race. How do you steal something and burn it down? What was the financial? What was the financial?
Well, it was the scrap metal. It was the price of the scrap metal.
Oh my gosh! Are you?
So he destroys a work of art
Uh-huh.
just for the scrap metal. So you burn it down unrecognizable, and then you take it to a scrap metal dealer and probably get $200, $300 for however many pounds of brass that was. Like you say, for something that cost $41,000, he wasn't going to get a fraction of that.
No.
And at 45, this ain't his first time to the rodeo.
No, it's not.
This is a person that's been doing that all his, I won't say all his life, but for a long time.
Probably. Well, if he's 45 years old.
It's just like the people that steal the air conditioners and the things off the car.
The Cadillac converter.
Yeah, the converters and stuff. They don't get what it's worth, and they cost other people so much more.
Uh-huh.
If for the aggravation, for the money, and in this case for the hurt that you cause a bunch of kids and stuff that come to that program, and they go down there, and what happened to our statue?
Right.
You can kill some young people's, dreams and stuff. It just, they stole it.
Right.
It's terrible.
Right, absolutely. Now, they did say that the surveillance video on January 25th showed 3 suspects, but they did not say if it has been announced if any other individuals will be charged. The damages were estimated to be $75,000 after the fixture was cut down just to its cleats. Burned remnants were found days later at the park 7 miles away. So, but there was a GoFundMe which raised $194,780. So hopefully that will. And according to Lutz, the combined total is in between 500,000 and 600,000 because they did get an assistance from Major League Baseball, which is awesome, and I knew that they were going to do that. So anyway, I'm glad that they stopped him. I hope that if anybody else is involved, they will be punished also. And Art Castings of Colorado in Loveland, Colorado, which built the Robinson statue, still has the original mold and will cast it to build a new one, which is expected to be unveiled in August. Right.
So now you got to do it.
Right.
And they can get it back. So that's a good thing.
Right. So, on that good note, we are at the end of Any Given Sunday on KUAW. Coach 24, my brother with another mother, Darwin Penny, George Walker, DJ Scatter, our producer and the man running the show behind the scenes. And I am Brian Kress, the awesome voice. Be awesome, not angry, and you guys have yourself a phenomenal sports weekend. Go Royals!